Hello, City fans. Welcome to the second episode or program of SkyBlueNews, as you may say. So we like to apologise for the you might as well call it a shambles of a show that we did last week. It was our first attempt, and the technical side wasn't great. So it's just myself, Pollerz, and Niro tonight, as Joshy won't be joining us. We're just going to talk the usual bullshit about everything blue. So, yeah. How's it going, mate, De Niro?
Very well, thank you very much. It's a bit late, I'm old and tired, but yeah, I'm here.
Old and tired, but yeah.
Yeah.
A bit like the club, eh? Old and tired, but yeah. Having a bit of life sprung back into it at the moment. We're going to talk about the club's history because been hearing a lot about people saying that the new generation of Blues do not know anything about the history of the club, and people are finding it a bit frustrating. So, I mean, when do you want to start?
Well, obviously, where I'm bobbing on a bit, I know more from when I started going, and how things changed and what players have come and gone, and the mistakes and errors we made to get us to where we are until the takeover. Before that, of course, it's quite common knowledge that we started off at Gorton and Ardwick and things. But to be honest, Manchester City came about for me in 1965, and since then I've practically lived the club. If there's anything you want to know since 1965, I might be able to help you. Before that, I only remember the things I saw on the telly or cup finals. Like, obviously, Bert Troutman was shown at every cup final before the cup final, the lead up to whoever was playing that year. And we know all about Frank Swift, and now he died, and he was captain of England and things. But I think most Blues now want to know the way forward, really, or why did we end up where we did before the takeover is perhaps interesting, as long as it never happens again.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've been reading, starting, you say 1965, it was looking pretty bleak, wasn't it? There's a record low attendance of 8,000 odd at home against the beautiful team Swindon Town. How things have progressed since then, eh?
Well, the thing is that they had this. I was watching them. We were in the Pat Lane and we were in the second division, and we had there was no Colin Bell and no Francis Lee or Mike Summerby. Neil Young was playing regular, as was Alan Oakes and Tony Buck. Not Tony Buck. Tony Buck came later. Alan Oakes, Glimpardo, and but we had the makings of a team, and then of course up pops Joe somewhere. I think it was about. It wasn't long into the season, if not only, I can't remember because I was young myself, but everything changed. It just breathed the fresh air into the club. And then we had like 5, 6, 7, 8 years of fantastic success. If nothing else, if we didn't win something, we were runners up,
Do you reckon that this could be, reiterated under Hughes? This kind of impression made on the club?
First of all, Hughes hasn't got anything like the quality of Allison behind him. That's number one. Sadly, it's a shame. Not many clubs would have. Allison was a genius on the training pitch. But whether or not Hughes, I think that the whole concept of football now, Hughes will get a short amount of time to put this right. Considering what he spent in it, I think it's only fair. But it would. Should he go on and do better than Joe Mercer? Yeah, he might just be as big a legend.
I would hope so, anyway. I mean, like I say, we've won the FA Cup, we've won numerous league titles, obviously.
2. 2 league titles.
Yeah. let's have a look at the more recent future, because the new generation of Blues, I don't think they want to hear about the 60s to
That's what I'm
70s.
saying. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying to you. That they don't, and rightly so. It was a bad era. I was lucky to get that nice era where we won a few things. But to be honest, City were in the doldrums that no one had any interest in. And now all I want to do is look forward and get excited about where we're heading.
Yeah. Well, should we just start 2005? Stuart Pearce took over as caretaker manager.
Well, the 2005. I mean, obviously, I just want to say where City's real depth of despair came from, and that was Alan Ball. The day he was appointed, I knew we were in lumber. I said, all my friends were in trouble here, big trouble. But even I couldn't possibly predict how one man could destroy our club. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And Pearce was only a victim of that, so he never had his chance, Stuart Pearce, because by the time Pearce got the reins, we were actually practically bankrupt.
I mean, obviously that held a top 6 position until November, but then obviously something went extremely wrong. We ended up 15th that season. I mean, it just shows how far we're coming from 15th, fighting for relegation, to now there's talk of will we win the Premier League? Will we get into the top 4? And there you go.
The way it's going now, these recent, I mean, it's just so exciting, isn't it? The way it's going now, I think that put it this way: if we don't break the top 4 next year, it'll absolutely leave Aston Villa, Everton, and Spurs, etc., heartbroken. If we can't break that dominance with the money and the players we're about to sign, then the Villas and things have got no chance. So it's up to us to show the rest of football that it can be done.
I mean, just before we get on to talking about the players that we're going to sign or we're trying to sign, let's talk about recent times. 07, Sven's season, in my opinion, shouldn't have been his only season.
Should it? It was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, obviously there was something drastically wrong behind the scenes. My view, if you want to hear it on Sven, is when the owners, our owners now, the Arabs, came in to buy the club, the negotiations wouldn't have been done in 3 weeks. It had been going on for months. And I think they told Frank, look, we'll buy your club, but you get rid of him, because Sven's private life is too checkered for Arabs. These people are proper, religious, hard-working, honest people, and people like Sven sleeping with his secretary, and it's just not the done thing. And I think that was why suddenly, because it was very sudden the way that Frank turned on Sven, and suddenly said, when we're near the top of the league, you're out of here. And I think that's done. I think it was actually the Arabs that sacked Sven.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, he did a good job in my opinion, and it was obvious towards the back end of the season, whatever score it was at Middlesbrough, was it 8-1, 7-1, whatever it was. It was a drubbing. That was obviously would never have happened if the whole fiasco hadn't been going on. I mean, it's been said that players didn't play on purpose. It was fixed in a way, but
I'm lucky. I can get to quite a few games, and I was there that day, and I saw Michael Ball literally pass it to the centre forward rather than a shorter ball to his own player. That was an absolute farce. There was something wrong there, and but one thing, on the way home we saw the bus, and we'd been beaten 8-1, and we were in our minibus coming home, and we overtook the City players. We're all cheering and shouting and clapping Sven, because he was always in the front of the bus, Sven. So we're all out the back windows clapping, and he looked at us in sheer disbelief. He'd just seen us get a proper kick in 8-1 and couldn't understand why we were all cheering. It's just mad. But that's City fans, isn't it?
Yeah.
What would he have done? What would Sven have done with our money? Can you imagine Sven with this money? I tell you what, we'd have been probably top 4 this season. With his contacts, his knowledge, just his flair,